Hello Internet, this is I the Roshi and I'm back with another reaction, this time reacting to Lauma's character trailer, Compassion and Discipline. I'm going to watch it, I'm going to talk about it. Let's get into it. Before we continue this reaction, there is something that I'd like to bring your attention to. Something that I thought was really cool and I appreciate a lot. Recently, I was contacted by the very kind, lovely, generous people over at Bahomu, and they sent me something that I want to pretty much show you guys right now. So let's open this up. Let's see what we have here. All right. Now, the trick is that I need to figure out how to open it. And I will. Be gone, tape. Be gone. You know, they packaged this very good. Come on. Ooh. Oh. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. A little boost from the packaging, but there you have it. Check that out. That is awesome. This is the Sitlalin's pillow. You know, the pillow you see her doing really cool things with, fighting with, floating on. This is her pillow. You can see it's a pretty decent size. I like it. You know, it's bigger than my head. It's very soft. It's very, very soft. Bahomu was very generous in talking to me about their products, what they have to offer, their Genshin merch, and then they sent me this. This is awesome. So if you were to go to Bahomu and check out their Genshin merch, you can do that. There's a link in the description and the pinned comment to this video, and you can get 10% off of your purchase by going to that link and entering code word Roshi, R-O-S-C-H-I. I highly recommend you at the very least check it out, and by using my code word, you know, to get something, you get something cool, you help them out, you help me out. This was awesome. I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much, Bahomu, for sending me this and just making my day happy. Let's get back to the video.
Unwelcome guests. Why do they intrude on these lands?
The relic!
This is our chance!
I shall remain here, together with the forest, and one with the moonlight.
What the?
It's an ambush! These creatures! We're surrounded!
Insolent intruders. Your souls burn in the flames of your own ambition. The moonlight shall send you from this place, and restore the rightful peace of night. By the frost moon of old, thank you all. That was very brave. The moon will remember your courage.
Ooh. Oh, wow. All right. Let's talk about that. That was nuts. Not the feeling I thought it was going to go with. Um, like when we were, man. Okay, so Llama, this character, meeting her, not in game yet, but seeing her teaser and seeing her appear in the other things that she's appeared in, I always got this feeling of peace. And yes, I'm not saying that peace wasn't a message here, but it was very much like, I don't know, for some reason, I know we see the characters fight and all that stuff, and that she was kind of more of a support, although she could be like, you know, doing some serious damage herself as well. But I always had this perception of her being more of a, oh man, I don't want to say a pacifist, but kind of leaning more in that direction. But not necessarily. She is very much a guardian. Very much so. More than I thought. Not just a title of being this person of the moon and nature and all of that, but also very much making sure it's protected. And maybe that was obvious to people. I don't know. But I really enjoyed seeing this aspect of her. And here's the thing. I've talked about how teasers and trailers to characters, for some reason, sometimes they only stick to like one note of that character. And that's like all you get. So that didn't happen here. That didn't happen here at all, in my opinion. With the teaser had a completely different vibe than this trailer did. The teaser was very much about faith, about her perception of it, that she questions essentially this higher being that everyone is praying to and hoping for some kind of return, for miracles to happen. Meanwhile, she's an elf who's lived a really long time and is like, I got nothing. I've seen no miracles. But she does her thing because it's what people need in order to move on to the next day, kind of thing, right? It's what gives people hope. It's what makes them happy. And she is more about that peace of mind. And I really, really respect her for that, because she's not antagonistic. She's not like, nah, this faith you have is garbage. It's not real. She's just like, haven't seen it, but hey, if it makes you happy, I'm here for you, man. And that's awesome. Here, now we're in an area where it's not only that, but it is this guardianship. It is this, maybe that wasn't the right word, but it is her in like this protecting mode of the land itself. No Cry is very, very important because of its connection to all this stuff that you're going to find out more about as you play this, right? So as far as a story element here, I love this, how it was very different. Okay, so for example, a character where, in my opinion, they didn't do such a great job as far as teaser and trailer goes. I mean, don't get me wrong, these teasers and trailers for, I would say, like 90% of these characters are amazing. And I wanted to bring up Verissa. Verissa is, I like her character. She does not have a bad teaser or a bad trailer, but if you go back and watch my reactions to those, I did say that they're kind of the same. It's like, she likes food, and she has this wrestler alter ego, when there's so much more to the character. But that's all you get in both teaser and trailer. They don't do that here. And they haven't done that for various other characters as well. Not all of them. Like I said, they go back and forth between like, here's this thing about this character, and you get these two things, and that's it. And you get them in everything that they do. But this wasn't the case for Lauma. This wasn't the case for Skirk. This wasn't the case for like a lot of others. So I'm really glad that they went a different route and they weren't just kind of like, oh yeah, let's talk about faith again. No, it was just, let's protect this land from the Fatui. But yeah, I love that. Now, let's talk about some of the things that we've seen in here. And I'm gonna talk about the animation, of course, because that's what I do, you know. I saw a comment recently that was like, man, Animator reacts? That's a load of crap. What clickbait. You don't talk about the animation. You just analyze. Like, what do you even mean? Do you know what you just... I'm analyzing the animation. Anyway, brain dead. Anyway, let's go on. So we have here this opening shot, which... I don't know, when it's the sunset and you just see these elks, I'm getting like Lion King vibes from right off the bat, even though that's like not what's happening here. But I do love this shot, this sunset and or sunrise. My apologies, I can't speak. I went to art school, not English school. I taught English though. My poor students. Anyway. Yep. So we have her walking through these lands, and okay, I really like this perspective. Let's look at this real quick. Yep, jump in onto her shoulder, down her arm, looking at her, and then hit. Okay, so what awesome transitions, showing the perspective of this little squirrel. I don't know if it has a different name than that. I'm gonna call it squirrel. The squirrel leaping down, jumping from like tree branch to ruins onto her shoulder, down her arm, and you see the camera pan because it's from its eye, so it's like looking at her the whole time as it runs down her arm. And then we pull out of that first person perspective and we see the squirrel and her, you know, acknowledging each other. And it runs back up her shoulder and whispers into her ear and then fades into what it had witnessed. Sorry, that was the wind closing my door because the wind is tired of me being too loud. Anyway. Yes. We fade into this transition and you see Fatui soldiers in the woods. So it's there telling Lauma that, hey, we got company. We have invaders. So, there we go. That's how this starts. I really, really, really love how, even in this trailer, they are definitely showing how the creatures of the world interact with her. Because that's one of her things, right? Like, she can get materials and all that stuff, and different animals and such react differently around her and do the thing. The wildlife. And I like how they're actually showing a little bit of that element here where the wildlife is helping her because she's that closely connected to nature and everything like that. It's really nice to see. All right. So you have the Fatui, which, might I add, the Fatui here, I'm liking their getup. I'm liking their design. They have these cool uniforms. Their weapons look sick. They got a mech thing. I'm you know, Fatui bad, but they got style. I'm gonna say it. If you ever told me that, like, no, I don't like the Fatui designs, I'd be like, you crazy. The Fatui designs are great. And yeah, you know, then unwelcome guests. What a lovely shot. This could definitely be another desktop, another wallpaper. Oh, man. Okay. So... Just going through this a little bit. All right, yeah, so we see the Fatui up to no good doing their thing. And then when the opportunity arises, she is using her magic. Oh, man, okay, the large moon. The moon is never really this big, but I love how they over-exaggerate the moon and make it huge in this setting right here. In this piece, it's very beautiful. It's very serene. There's a dramatic feel to it. Something ethereal, something very intense is happening. She is using her moon magic, and we have. So first, when I saw this, we have these crazy cool effects where there's these crystals, these specks, and this orb of energy, but that orb of energy is actually reflecting the moon itself, which took me like a second. I was just like, wait, is this just frost magic? She says frost moon, right? But that's not necessarily what she's doing. But she is using this magic, and it does depict the moon itself, which I love. I think it's very, very cool. And I believe they use that with the transition with the actual moon itself. Let's see for a second. Yep. Okay, yeah. So it floats up, and then you have that quick, those quick wipes and cuts to show the actual moon, channeling that moon energy. The Kuraki, was that what it was called? Kurai? Kuvari? Kuravi, maybe? I can't remember. Sorry, my apologies. Feet! For those who enjoy feet, you're welcome. Let's keep going. Okay. Yep. Yeah. There's something about, like, I know what it is. It's not something about, I know what it is. I'm getting, and I think maybe this is why I really like Lauma. And it's not exactly that character, but I do remember, what was her name? San? It's either San or Sen from Princess Mononoke. And there's a lot of that imagery here with, like, the elk on the water and just being so closely in tune with nature and stuff, and being this not necessarily a princess, but she is a figure of well-renown within what she does. There's some similarities. Their personalities aren't necessarily the same, but there is still that drive to defend what they need to, what they want to, because it's close and it's personal to them. And, you know, Princess Mononoke maybe a generic answer, but it is my favorite Ghibli movie. So I like this. Oh man, we see all like these different animals and her. Back to another animal, her again. We're getting this close, like, into her eyes, and then we see the birds and all these other animals with their eyes glowing green, and it's like she is seeing through them. I don't necessarily know if she is controlling them. I feel like afterwards she thanks the creature for being brave. So I do believe this is her their own will, but she is sort of guiding them in the direction they need to go in, right? Or she is bolstering them in her own way, seeing through them and such. I'm not sure if it's like a take command, take control, but it is a way of, let's gather the troops, collect here, right? So I really like how they represented that, how they went into it. It wasn't just like a blast of energy or a wave of energy, and then all the animals started charging. It was, you see a lot of this etherealness. You get these close-ups of these different animals, and it cuts back to her, and it's like side and side. And she's doing that thing again where she paints the crescent on her forehead, which I believe is done with her own blood, which is silver, which is pretty wild. And it makes me think, do all elves bleed silver? Interesting. Or is she got special blood? Because she's all connected to the moon and stuff, like, you know? But there's a lot of visual representation here. There's a lot of this really cool way of, once again, showing her connection to these creatures, animated in this way. Because there's so many other ways you could have done it, which could have also been good too, but I just really, really appreciate how they've done it here, and how I'm losing my train of thought because I just had another one enter my head. I don't know. I'm just thinking like all the other ways they could have shown this. I like that it's nighttime. I like that although we are on Lauma's side for sure about this, right? I mean, for one, she's against the Fatui, and we've been against the Fatui the entirety of this game. And when something like technology and society goes up against nature, when you have like the fern gully trope, you're most likely going to side with nature and animals because they're definitely more on like innocent and not as greedy and such, right? That's just kind of what that is. But this is showing it in a way where I'm like, although I am on nature's side right now, tell me this isn't scary. This is creepy. This is really, this is a creepy shot. We have the dark colors, the dark blues. The birds are same color scheme, kind of blending in, but you see them because they have the rim lighting of the light source, which would be the moon, and glowing green eyes. This looks terrifying. If you were walking through the woods and you saw this, you would cry and run away. You would not feel good. Yeah, so there's that. I could only hope that maybe this is only happening because it's the Fatui and she's aware of what they're up to, and not just any person who were to walk into the woods if they're not from Not Cry. You know what I mean? So hopefully, yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't think she's the kind that would just send people for entering in general. I think it depends on like your intent, what you're doing and stuff, if you're walking around being destructive or not. But we get some more cool shots. Oh my god, we saw the shot of like the ethereal looking elk deer before, and now we get another one, but it's not like the wispy glowing moon energy. It's just another one of the forest, and with the glowing green eyes with the moon behind them. Oh my god, such good imagery here. Such great imagery. And then this. Okay, let's watch this sequence again.
The moonlight shall send you from this place. And
Okay. Whew. Once again, I love it when they mix these mediums together, because you definitely have the in-game graphics, their CG of the characters and such, but this water is 2D. It's cell shaded, it's hand drawn. It's awesome. Look how stylized it is. And it's with these greens and blues and the yellows for like reflections, and it's just really, really popping. And it's done so beautifully. It's so fluid, as it should be, because it's water. Let me see that again. Yep, like it splashes down.
the moonlight shall send you from this place.
And it's spiraling, like creating this I guess like a little whirlpool effect going on, but they use that to transition into showing close-ups of her performing this this thing. Whether or not I want to say you know, she's like at command, and you see her hand, and she's pointing, and she's giving her. She's spitting right now. Okay. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. So I don't know about you, but looking back at that, I can see when you are working on an animation of sorts, it's not one person doing everything. You split up the scenes for other people. I'm not exactly sure how it works when you're using like in-game graphics. I imagine you would have to do the same, and maybe it's not as complicated because you have the character model. But here they're doing this with like just other effects. There's definitely someone whose job was to animate this water in this particular way and overlay that on top of everything else that is happening. And I just want to look at it again for the sake of layers. Let me see. Okay, yeah. All right. Yep. I just wanted to see the character that was getting swept away in this water real quick. And they are definitely behind everything. So someone animated the character going like, oh god, like whatever. And then they just put this on top of it, this animated layer. I love that. I love it so much. It's really cool just to kind of like see those little details that they do there for this. And once again, I already said it, but the colors are fantastic. And you might think like, well, why not just make it blue? Because water is usually depicted as just blue and in different gradients of blue. Sometimes green, it can be. But why throw yellow and stuff? And I already talked about it's like lighting and all that. And I like how they're using more of this green tint to everything, these different greens, because for one, Lauma uses a lot of green in her design, and they're already using a lot of blue for the background, the setting, the shadows, the character that this water is currently attacking. So this really stands out, and it's different from what you have already seen, and you definitely know it's Lauma casting this. It's Lauma controlling, making this thing happen right now because of its color scheme and her color scheme. Plus the yellow from the lighting, which is most likely the moon again. And so yeah, just based on the colors that they used, you know exactly what's going on based on her words that are being said, how it's written. You know, she is having at it. She's going at them, right? So that's great. Oh, and then we get into more. Oh, the transitions are always really cool to see. Okay. They show this again, which is part of her burst animation, right? Oh, and then yeah, she goes into this form, her centaur, elk creature form thing, and she is just schooling this mech, jumping around it. It's got a Gatling gun and it's firing like crazy. It's so cool looking. You have these glitch effects because it's like looking through the eyes of the mech, right? It's really quick. Hold on. My mic is out of whack right now. Hold on. Sorry. Yep. All right. I like that. Yeah, it's from its perspective, and you just kind of see the bugs fly into its view, and then it cuts. It's distracted right now. It's being blinded. She's running around being awesome. You have more of this animation here. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what this was about. And what a screen to have her show up on like that, which is not something that they've really done this late into a character trailer. I love seeing these other animals, these other beasts, just like in these supercharged states, you know, actually rushing the Fatui, shooting a beam at the Fatui. She's running around controlling other animal spirits, completely disrupting this thing, knocking it on its ass. Boulders are flying up, crushing it, sending it flying, all that stuff. And when she comes out of her form, she does this elegant twirl, and we show this, which is very much hand drawn. But it's the hand drawn character splash page with her name popping up. And I feel like they haven't really done that too much. Not to, we usually have the character like strike a pose and it'll go into this, like that's happened before. But usually it's like in the beginning before all the action and stuff happens in the trailer. Here they did it towards the end. And I'm sure it's happened before with some other characters, but here it just felt really unique with just how perfectly timed and fluid that was into the motion. Like I want to go into this frame by frame actually. Yeah, let's they do okay, yeah. That they do the wipe. Okay, yep, they wipe it. That's I was like I didn't catch that right away. But that makes sense. Yeah. So she's coming out of her. Let's see, hold on. What's the scene right before this? Alright, yep. So we see the hooves, right? And they're running and it starts glowing and the camera goes a little faster. So you don't actually see the morph animation, but it's close enough to where you don't really question it, and her foot comes into frame as in heels, right? She walks into heels and she's in the starting her spin right now. Right? Oh, that's an interesting step right here. Cuz this is her left leg, this is her right leg. And look how she spins. Okay. So she's like spinning on her left leg with her left toes right now. But she's moving, her right shoulder is coming towards us. Huh. Oh, you know what it is? Okay. They also, at some point during this, they went with a Dutch angle. They tilted the camera. So it looked like she was almost falling over. But they tilted the camera during all this. And the background's blurry enough where you can't really tell anyway. So either she is still upright and she does have more control of herself, or she is just floating around at this point. And this is so... And this just looks so freaking elegant as hell. It's still blurry. And then when it starts to kind of focus, you get this wipe effect to have it zoomed out again, and you show her in this pose, which she could very easily be making at this point in time. So it's cool by using that blur and the wipe to make this transition into this art style a lot like, I don't know, it doesn't pop out that it's weird. And in fact, when I saw it, I was like, wait, how long were we 2D? Was it just this, or were we doing 2D animation through this as well? But no, it's really just that water effect and then this shot right here. But everything else was like the in-game stuff. Really cool, though. Really cool how they pulled that off. And then you have her name pop up. And do her eyes open at all, or no? They kept them closed because she's praying. I think they kept them closed because she's praying. I don't think they open. They took a picture with her eyes closed. I can't believe this. Why would they do that? Okay. I just wanted to see if they animated this any further than like the very basic like flutteriness, the idle animation stuff that they usually do. And then here we have her tending to the animals that were up in that fight, thanking them, showing her appreciation that they're very brave. Animals super cute. And yeah, the moon will remember your courage. Great trailer. I love this a lot. Like I said, I really enjoyed how its theme switched up a little bit. Yes, very much moon and nature, but less with faith and more of protecting. And it wasn't necessarily just protecting the people, although I'm sure this would protect the people because it's pushing out the Fatui, but mostly just life itself and how it exists in that area she is protecting. She is a guardian of. And of course, using the aid of the animals to help do so. It isn't just her walking in there being super badass and powerful, but rather, it is her because she is having this happen in the first place. She is definitely doing this thing. But I don't know. It was just really cool how they showed it, how it was like this team effort at her command, of course, pushing back the Fatui. And as fashionable as they are, just no one wants to deal with them right now. They can be fashionable somewhere else, and they'll just have to deal with that. I like Lauma a lot. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, at least as much as I enjoyed watching this trailer. This was amazing. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking it, writing your thoughts in the comment section down below. You can also check out the description for additional ways of how to support me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Every little bit helps. It means a lot. And thank you so much for listening to me ramble about this awesome, awesome trailer. Thanks, and until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.